Okay. Sorry. Hey everyone. Hope you're all doing well today. So, yeah, I'll start today's vocabulary class now. Before we begin though, could you tell me if you can see the screen and if you can hear my voice clearly?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Yanfei. And with that quality of assurance out of the way, let's start. So, don't use offensive language in class. All right. So, look, here's our first word we're going to look at. So, Yanfei, could you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence, please?
Uh, keep keepsake noun, a small item or gift kept to evoke memories of something, an event, or someone. Before she left for college, Samantha gave her mom the tassel from her high school graduation cap as a keepsake.
Okay, thank you, Yanfei. Well read. So, I'll give you 1 minute, like with the previous classes, to write out one sentence using this word. And yeah, I'll let you get started now. Okay, everyone, 1 minute is up. All right. Thank you, Yanfei, and thank you, Eric. I just I saw that you showed up. Yeah, great job, everyone. Thank you. So I'll post this submissions on this slide. I'll also post a link to the slideshow because I realize I forgot to do that. So give me a second. Okay, here's the link to the slideshow if it helps you follow along better. Yeah, I have both of your submissions up on this slide right now. Thank you once again. Okay, so Yanfei, you wrote, we were given books as keepsakes of the trip. Yeah, great use of the word keepsake. It makes sense in context, and it's a well-written sentence too. I don't need to edit anything. Well done. And Eric, you wrote, we get to keep the cake we made as a keepsake. Yeah, very nice sentence. I like the use of rhyming in there, and you use the word keepsake well. Yeah, awesome. Well done. Very well written, and nothing I need to edit here either. Great job, everyone. All right. So here's our next word. Eric, could you read out the word, the definition, and the sentence, please? Sorry, Eric, could you read out the word, the definition, and the example sentence, please? Okay. Must not be available right now. So, Yanfei, if you're available, could you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence?
Kickback, noun, a reaction that is quick and violent, as when a chainsaw bites into metal. Also, money received illegally, ill-
Oh,
illegally,
illegally.
illegally in return for a secret agreement. Also, usually illegal. The contractor was accused of taking kickbacks from suppliers who charged excessive prices.
All right. Thank you, Yanfei. Well read. So, 1 minute to write out one sentence using this word, kickback. Look, you could use either one of the two definitions. Yeah, you can both get started. Hey everyone, 1 minute is up. Thank you, Yanfei. Okay, so here's a sentence you wrote, Yanfei. Several company executives were accused of accepting kickbacks. Yeah, great. I like the way you use the word kickback. You use the second definition, and it makes sense in context with what you're trying to say too. Well done. Nothing I need to edit here either. That's great. Oh, you can't hear me, Eric. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to fix that immediately. Let's see. I don't think I'm muted for everyone else. Hmm. Okay, this is a little strange. So, Eric, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. It does look like I got a sentence from you, though. Thank you, Eric. So, you wrote, the mafia took a kickback, but was soon caught by the police. Okay, yeah, great use of the word kickback. And yeah, good use of your writing too. Use proper tense, and the sentence structure is appropriate. Yeah, well done, Eric. Nothing I need to edit here either. Excellent work, everyone. Okay, so here's our next word. Okay, so Eric, if you can hear me, can you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence, please? Hmm. Okay, this might be an issue. I'm gonna try to ask to unmute. Okay, that's a little strange. Right. So maybe I'll get Yanfei to read again. Yanfei, if you can hear me, can you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence, please?
Kinetic adjective pertaining to, caused by, or producing motion. Kinetic energy is the energy associated with the movement of a system or body. Alexander Calder is credited for inventing the mobile kinetic sculpture with hanging pieces that move and flow.
All right, thank you, Yanfei. So I'll give you all 1 minute to write out one sentence using this word. And yeah, you can all get started. Okay, time's up, everyone. If you have a sentence, please post it in the chat. Okay, thank you, Yanfei. Okay, I'll go over your sentence first. Yep. Layla loves to stack blocks and play with Play-Doh and kinetic sand for hours. Okay, yeah, I like the way you used kinetic. I think you're talking about the brand here, but it could pertain to just a type of sand that you play with. Like you're describing the sand that you're playing with. I think you're talking about the brand though. So yeah, I'll leave the sentence as is because it's written well. Yeah, I'll leave the sentence as is, but like try to avoid using brands with words in them as a way to meet the word requirement. Try using the word as if you were describing something, but the sentence does read like you would be describing sand as kinetic. So yeah, good sentence, Yanfei. And Eric, can you hear me now? Okay. So, Eric, if you can hear me, just type in anything. Oh, your speaker is broken. Okay, I get that. All right. So, I'll move on to the next word if there's no other submissions. Okay. So here's our next word. I'd like Eric to read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence. Something might be wrong with the audio connection between me and him, so I'll try to ask. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't. I saw that your mic, that the mic was on, but I couldn't hear anything. Okay, so Eric's gonna try reading again. Hey, we're having some technical difficulties from one student's end. Okay, to keep so bear with me. I'm going to just wait a moment to accommodate for the student. Okay, so yeah, we are having some technical difficulties with one student's end. So I'm sorry to ask again, but Yanfei, if you're able to, and if you can hear me, can you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence, please?
Ko, ko, koto,
Hmm.
verb, to kneel with forehead touching the ground, to worship or show respect, to be extremely submissive, to please someone in authority. Pri pri prior the French Re Revolution, all citizens would kowtow to anyone who is royal for fear of punishment or death.
Excellent. Thank you, Yanfei. Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute to write one sentence using this word, everyone. And yeah, you can all get started. Okay, time is up, everyone. Thank you, Eric. Okay, one moment, everyone. Sorry. Okay, so here we have Eric's sentence. If it can post. Yep, okay. Thank you, Eric. Just to label this. The king ordered everyone to kowtow. Yeah, awesome. This is a well-written sentence. good sentence using the word kotal. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Eric. Okay. And so does anyone else have a sentence to submit? Okay. In that case, I will move on to the next word. All right. So here's our next word. So this time I will read out this word, its definition in the example sentence. One student is having audio issues right now, so I'll take his place for the time being. So kudos is a noun that refers to praise, credit, glory, honor, or accolades for an achievement. A black belt in judo earns tons of kudos. Kudos were offered to all graduates at the commencement ceremony and during the receptions that followed it. Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give all of you 1 minute to write one sentence using this word. And yeah, you can all begin writing. Okay, everyone, 1 minute is up. Okay, looks like Eric posted a sentence. Thank you, Eric. Okay, so here's what Eric wrote. We got kudos for giving the best presentation in class. Yeah, excellent. Great use of the word kudos and the sentence is very well written. Well done. Okay, so and I got a submission from Yanfei too. Thank you, Yanfei. Hopefully there are no issues with the audio. Okay, so Yanfei, here's what you wrote. The company has earned kudos for responding so quickly to customers' concerns. Okay, good use of the word kudos. The sentence makes sense. One edit I would make though is your placement of the apostrophe. So you put the apostrophe at the end here. And actually, I think the S isn't necessary either. So the company has earned kudos for responding so quickly to customer concerns. You could just write it like that and it would be fine because when you're saying customer concerns, you're referring to concerns shared by all customers. But yeah, great job, Yanfei. Good use of the word kudos. Yeah, excellent work, everyone. Okay, so I will get Eric to attempt to read this next word. Okay, I still couldn't hear anything. Okay, so I unfortunately couldn't hear anything. So, Yanfei, in this case, could you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence?
Laborious adjective requiring a great deal of effort, showing signs of effort or difficulty rather than easy, naturalness, or fluency. Most high school boys find any work, no matter how hard or long it is, to be laborious.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Yanfei. So, I'll give you all 1 minute to write one sentence using this word, laborious. And yeah, you can all begin. Okay, time's up. If you're finished writing the sentence, please post it in the chat. Okay, it's taking a little while. Okay, thank you, Eric. I will post your sentence. Okay, so here's what Eric wrote. The new employee at the job found it very laborious and quit the following week. Okay, yeah, good use of the word laborious. This is a good use of the word. And I would change it to make it more clear what you're talking about. So change it to the work, just as a way to say the job. But yeah, great job, Eric. This is good. And does anyone else have a sentence to submit? Okay, in that case, I will move on. Okay, so I'm gonna try. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try to get Eric to read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence. Oh, I can
Labyrinth,
hear you. That's great. I can hear you.
labyrinth, a maze or maze-like structure. In Greek mythology, the maze designed by
Okay. Daedalus.
Daedalus
Hmm.
for King Minos of Crete to confine the Minotaur. The hallways of the new high school seemed like a labyrinth to the new freshmen, and many became lost in their first days.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric. Well read. I'm very glad that you can hear me and I can hear you again. That's excellent. Okay, so I'll give you all 1 minute to write one sentence using this word. And yeah, you can all start. All right, time's up, everyone. Thank you, Eric. Okay. So here's what you wrote, Eric. When we decided to move to a new neighborhood, the new roads seem like a labyrinth. Okay, yeah, good use of the word labyrinth. I like how you used it to describe roads. We want to keep the tense consistent though, so I'm gonna change seem to seemed. So we're talking in the past tense, like when we decided to move, and thus I will use the word seem as if it was written in past tense, as in it seemed like the new roads were a labyrinth. But yeah, great job, Eric. Does anyone else have a sentence to submit? If not, I will move on to the next word. Okay, I will move on now. So, okay, Yanfei, could you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence, please?
Laco Laconic adjective, using very few words, concise or terse writing or speech. A laconic polit politic politician is hard to find. So if you can identify a candidate who is concise, concise and honest, vote for him or her.
Okay, thank you, Yanfei. Well read. So, I'll give you 1 minute to write one sentence using this word, as per usual. And yeah, you can all start writing. Okay, 1 minute is up, everyone. If you're finished writing, please post your sentence in the chat. Thank you, Eric. Okay, here we are. So you wrote a laconic person can usually make no sense. Okay, interesting use of the word laconic. Mm. But I get how you can interpret it as someone who uses few words makes no sense. But in this case, a laconic person is someone who uses few words but makes the point come across really quickly. So when we say someone is laconic, it means we can understand them well because they use very little words to get the point across quickly. So if they're concise, this word concise means very simple, easy to understand. So we can make this use of the word laconic make more sense by just getting rid of the no. Yeah, I get that it's a little tricky with the definition, but yeah, good attempt, Eric. Great job. So, does anyone else have a sentence to submit? Okay, I will move on to the next word then. Okay, so Eric, could you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence, please?
Laggard noun, someone who or something that falls behind and does not keep up with others, one who lags behind or loiters. Most often used as a negative description. It was insensitive and unprofessional of the teacher to refer those who were falling behind in the difficult mathematics class as laggards.
O- Okay, thank you, Eric. Well read. So, 1 minute to write one sentence using this word, everyone. And yeah, you can get started. Okay, everyone, time's up. Thank you, Eric. Okay. Okay. So here we are. Here's what you wrote, Eric. If you don't focus in school, you will usually become a laggard of the class. Okay, yeah, good use of the word laggard, and it makes sense in context of what you're trying to say. So I'm gonna change of into in. That's the only edit I'll make. It make more sense. If you don't focus in school, you will usually become a laggard in the class. I'll also change the into that. Actually, I won't. Yeah, I'll just change that back. But yeah, great job, Eric. Good writing and good use of the word. Okay, so does anyone else have a sentence to submit? Okay, I'll move on to our last word very quickly. Okay, so here's our last word for this session. Yanfei, could you read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence, please? Okay, it seems like Yanfei is unmuted. You're unmuted. You were unmuted, but I couldn't hear anything you were saying. Can you try again if you can hear me? Okay, this is a little weird actually. I think actually I'll get Eric. I can't hear anything from Yonfei's end, so I'll get Eric to read out this word, its definition, and the example sentence.
Laity, noun, followers of a religion that are not clergy, lay persons, all who are not members of a specific profession. The laity of the Catholic Church is growing more and more independent and less likely to follow the dictates of the Pope.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Well read. So I'll give you all, like with the previous exercises, 1 minute to write one sentence using this word. And yeah, you can all start. Okay, everyone, 1 minute is up. If you're finished writing, please post your sentence in the chat. Hey, so does anyone have a sentence prepared to submit? Okay, so it appears no one is able to write a sentence with this word. Maybe the word is a little challenging. So I will provide an example sentence showing you how you could use the word. So you could use laity like this. So the church and laity were very active in charity work. Yeah, you could use it like that. So remember that. well, actually, I should say the laity. The church and the lady were very active in charity work, and this makes sense because we're associating the laity or these groups of people with the church, and we are associating them with an activity that these people traditionally perform. So yeah, this is an example of how you could use the word laity. And with that, I'll end off class here. So great job, everyone. There were some technical difficulties with a student and their audio, but that seems to have been resolved. So yeah, you all still did very well today. Excellent job, everyone. And yeah, we'll resume class next weekend. And with that, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, everyone. See you next week.